Once upon a time, about 200,000 years ago, our human story began in Africa. Picture a world where Homo sapiens were just starting to sprout, while their older relatives like Homo erectus and Homo heidelbergensis had already ventured beyond the African borders to explore Eurasia. Not to be outdone, the Neanderthals and Denisovans, our distant cousins, were already making their marks in those distant lands. But the tale doesn't end there. Enter Homo floresiensis from Indonesia and Homo naledi from South Africa, disrupting the linear narrative. These unique beings add a touch of mystery, emphasizing that the human migration story is far from straightforward. Now, how did our ancestors and their fellow Homo species embark on this incredible journey across the Earth? The answer is a hot topic of debate. As they wandered through time and space, some might have been driven by changing climates, seeking more hospitable lands. Others could have been in pursuit of better food sources, avoiding unfriendly neighbors, or simply being adventurous risk-takers wanting a change of scenery. The puzzle becomes even more complex because the fossil record is like a scattered jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces. Enter the field of genetics, analyzing ancient DNA to complement the fossil, climatic, and geological data. This amalgamation of information helps us piece together a narrative, though the story is ever evolving. New discoveries, bones unearthed, tools found, and DNA studies bring about continuous changes, refining our understanding. So, here's a basic overview of what we currently believe, with the understanding that it's subject to change. The motivations behind the migration of these early humans vary, adding layers to the narrative. And millions of years ago, our distant ancestors, the hominoids, roamed not only in Africa but also across parts of Eurasia. The roots of our own Homo species and the great apes can be traced back to these times. Although the ancestors of Homo developed in Africa, some intriguing characters ventured beyond the continent's boundaries. Picture this: around 2 million years ago, the daring Homo erectus made its appearance, setting the bar high for geographical exploration. Their fossils, spanning a considerable range, hint at a journey that began in Africa. Yet, the plot thickens with the discovery of Homo floresiensis, affectionately nicknamed Hobbit, found at Liang Bua in Indonesia. This enigmatic species might be the descendant of a very early migration, predating or occurring shortly after Homo erectus left Africa. Clues are emerging about migrations that could predate the established timeline of Homo erectus, adding complexity to the narrative. Recent findings at Shangqin in the southern Chinese Loess Plateau suggest hominin occupation dating back as far as 1 million years ago. Paleoanthropologist John Hawkes speculates that movements and dispersals from Africa may have started much earlier than the widely accepted 2 million years ago, continuing up to more recent times. Despite these intriguing hints, Homo erectus remains a central figure in our early human migration story, as we await more material to unveil a more intricate tale. Homo erectus, appearing in East Africa around 1.9 million years ago, ventured not only into the Turkana Basin in Kenya, but also into South and North Africa. Around 1.9 to 1.8 million years ago, they embarked on a journey out of Africa, traversing the Middle East and the Caucasus, eventually reaching Indonesia and China by 1.7 to 1.6 million years ago. There's even evidence suggesting Homo erectus may have braved the normally cold north of China around 800,000 years ago during a milder climate period. The adventurous torch was then passed to Homo heidelbergensis, emerging around 700,000 years ago, possibly evolving from Homo erectus within Africa. Different groups of Homo heidelbergensis staked their territories in East, South, and North Africa. A particularly energetic subset spread across Western Eurasia, braving the challenges of Ice Age Europe. These intrepid humans journeyed through major mountain ranges, reaching as far north as England and Germany. Their resilience in coping with the changing climates of Ice Age Europe is evident, as they navigated the subarctic zone, avoiding the ice sheets. But the story doesn't end there. The early humans around 700,000 years ago showcased remarkable adaptability, moving as far north as Pakefield and Happisburgh in England when the climate permitted, only to retreat to southern refuges during colder stages. And, as the tale of human migration continued, the species Homo heidelbergensis, after weathering the challenges of Ice Age Europe, gradually transformed into the Neanderthals. These resilient beings, whose core homeland was believed to be in Europe, exhibited a remarkable ability to adapt and move across various territories and climatic zones. From the sunny landscapes of Spain and the Mediterranean to the frigid expanses of northern Europe, Russia, and the Near East, encompassing Israel, Syria, Turkey, and Iraq, the Neanderthals ventured far and wide. Their adventurous spirit even took them to the distant realms of Siberia and Uzbekistan. In the vast stretches of Siberia, the Neanderthals found themselves sharing territory with another species, the mysterious Denisovan. Known only from a finger bone and 3 teeth found in Denisova Cave in the Altai Mountains, the Denisovan left a genetic trail suggesting their presence from Siberia to Southeast Asia. A fascinating revelation from 2012 CE at Denisova Cave provided a tangible link between the Neanderthals and Denisovan. A long bone fragment discovered indicated a woman with a Neanderthal mother and a Denisovan father, offering a captivating glimpse into the intricate web of interspecies connections. While Neanderthals and Denisovan carved their stories in the East, Homo sapiens, our direct ancestors, were gradually emerging in the rich territories of Africa. By at least 200,000 years ago, Homo sapiens began to take shape, likely descending from Heidelbergensis ancestors. This budding species thrived in the southern and eastern reaches of Africa, creating a mosaic of different players in the hominin evolution narrative. The African stage wasn't exclusive to Homo sapiens. The discovery of Homo naledi in South Africa's Rising Star Cave, dated between 236,000 to 335,000 years old, introduced another player to the scene. Meanwhile, at Jebel Irhoud in Morocco, a species with both modern and archaic features inhabited northern Africa around 315,000 years ago, adding complexity to the human evolutionary tale. As Homo sapiens matured in Africa, some members of this lineage embarked on journeys away from their homelands. The Near East became a crucial crossroads, with Homo sapiens burials discovered at sites like Skul and Kafza in Israel, dating back to 90,000 to a staggering 130,000 years old. Tools found at Jebel Faya in the United Arab Emirates hinted at Homo sapiens' presence as early as 130,000 years ago. The narrative of human migration wasn't marked by a singular massive movement, but rather by multiple instances of adventurous souls exploring new territories. Recent findings suggest early Homo sapiens made it to Sumatra in western Indonesia between 73,000 and 63,000 years ago. This aligns with other evidence pointing to human presence in inner Southeast Asia before 60,000 years ago, with migration patterns following the retreating glaciers northward. The unfolding story even places humans in the north of Australia by 65,000 years ago, showcasing the remarkable journeys of our ancestors across time and space. And, as the chronicles of human migration unfolded, a pivotal moment emerged around 55,000 years ago when a significant wave of anatomically modern humans surged out of Africa. This endeavor marked a turning point, as larger numbers than ever before rapidly spread across Eurasia and beyond. This out-of-Africa event became a defining chapter, with the people involved directly related to almost all present-day non-Africans, reshaping the human landscape across the globe. Amidst this expansive journey, the paths taken by these early modern humans out of Africa held mysteries. Egypt and wet corridors in the Sahara, traversing East Africa into the Levant, were potential routes. Once out of Africa, in the Near East, a fascinating encounter unfolded. Humans met Neanderthals and interbred with them, a connection dating back to at least 100,000 years ago. This mingling gave rise to an offshoot that eventually migrated into Europe around 45,000 years ago. Within Europe, the march of Homo sapiens was swift, as indicated by evidence of their early arrival in southern Spain around 43,000 years ago. Coastal corridors likely facilitated their rapid dispersal. Moving eastward, they traced the coastline through India into Southeast Asia, where encounters with the possibly resident Denisovan resulted in interbreeding, possibly in Southeast Asia. This remarkable journey happened at a staggering pace. By 53,000 years ago, descendants of the main wave reached the north of Australia, a feat that required building boats or rafts to navigate the waters that separated Asia from Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea. In Asia, another migration unfolded around 40,000 years ago, heading north in East Asia, possibly leading to the Bering Land Bridge. This Ice Age phenomenon connected Asia to the Americas, laying the groundwork for further expansion. The route into the Americas is traditionally believed to have occurred around 15,000 years ago, either along the coast or through an ice-free corridor in the interior, though ongoing research keeps the story open-ended. Yet, Some realms remained untouched by human presence for extended periods. Islands like Hawaii saw human arrival by boat around 100 CE, while New Zealand resisted human settlement until around 1000 CE. Exploring the depths of prehistoric times, the question of why these early humans embarked on migrations remains a complex puzzle. This era predates written records, making it challenging to unravel the motivations behind these journeys. Migration, it seems, was influenced by a combination of push and pull factors. Push factors propelled individuals to leave their homelands due to unfavorable conditions, while concepts like no jobs or terrible political circumstances might not apply to ancient times. Factors like adverse climate changes turning regions into inhospitable environments, natural disasters, competition with hostile groups, or dwindling resources could have played significant roles. On the flip side, pull factors lured them toward new possibilities, such as more favorable climates, lush landscapes teeming with resources, and untapped opportunities. However, the exact combination of factors driving each migration remains elusive. Migration, being stressful and perilous, demanded a group's resourcefulness and adaptability. For Homo erectus, leaving Africa was a venture into the unknown. Successfully navigating a new environment required technological advancements, tools for hunting and gathering, protective measures against colder climates through clothing or fire. Cooperation and inventiveness in securing resources became crucial skills for survival. Climate-related clues offer insights into the environmental aspects of migration. Climate models suggest that Heinrich events, involving surges of ice sheets into the North Atlantic, led to sudden climate changes during the last glacial cycle. These events could have rendered large parts of North, East, and West Africa unsuitable for human habitation, serving as a push factor for Homo sapiens migration out of Africa. The Sahara posed a significant obstacle for Homo sapiens seeking an exit. Nevertheless, climate studies revealed wet phases during which friendlier corridors across the Sahara opened, coinciding with major human dispersals from sub-Saharan Africa. While a wet phase aided early migration into the Levant and Arabia around 120,000 to 90,000 years ago, during the main migration around 55,000 years ago, the Horn of Africa turned dry and arid, potentially pushing the main wave out. Another climate-driven impact on early human migration emerged around 870,000 years ago. Temperature drops made North Africa and Eastern Europe more arid, prompting large herbivores to migrate into southern European refuges. Early humans followed in their wake, taking advantage of pathways like the opening Po Valley in northern Italy, providing access to southern France and beyond. This aligns with the migration of Homo heidelbergensis into Europe, as the strategy of following herds of large herbivores emerged as a viable approach for successful migration. Despite the uncertainty surrounding the exact driving forces and challenges faced by early humans, adaptability emerged as the key to their success. From Homo erectus to the ambitious dispersal of Homo sapiens, humanity gradually conquered the vast expanses of the world. Yet, as we delve into the intricate tapestry of early human migration, there are glaring gaps, and it's crucial to acknowledge these blind spots that currently shroud the narrative. The dates we rely on, the threads that weave this tale, are but our best estimates, shaped by the data we have managed to unearth. These estimations form a foundation, awaiting the discovery of more evidence to illuminate the shadowy corners of our understanding. Consider the Denisovan, a mysterious species known to us through the meager remnants of one finger bone and 3 molars discovered in a Siberian cave. Their genetic code, sequenced in 2010 CE, hints at a vast range from Siberia to Southeast Asia. Intriguingly, there's a possibility they interbred with an unknown archaic human, adding a layer of complexity to their story. Fossils of these enigmatic beings could bridge the gaps in our understanding, offering insights into their lives and movements. Homo floresiensis, those diminutive beings from the island of Flores, pose another puzzle. How and when did they reach this isolated haven, and did they, in a remarkable feat, navigate the seas with primitive boats at such an early juncture? Unraveling the story of their ancestors demands more evidence, a missing puzzle piece yearning to be found. The Americas, a vast and perplexing chapter, continue to captivate researchers. The precise route through which the Americas were first reached, along with the timing of this momentous journey, remains a subject of contention. While prevailing estimates hover around 15,000 years ago, recent research by Holland in 2017 has stirred the waters. This study suggests the presence of an early human species in California, a staggering 130,000 years ago, based on what the researchers interpret as tools crafted by human hands, despite the absence of human fossils at the site. Such findings underscore the dynamic nature of our understanding, a reminder that the story of early human migration remains an evolving narrative. It serves as a cautionary tale, urging us not to carve our perceptions in stone, but to remain open to the prospect of new discoveries reshaping the very foundations of our knowledge.